The video game design industry is currently in a pretty wild state of flux. The old giants are stumbling and new designers are coming out of the woodworks. We're seeing a renaissance of games, not unlike the quirky classics of the previous generations, primarily led by one or two people and assembled on a small budget. As development tools like Unity get easier and easier to work with while maintaining the ability to make virtually any game concept, indie game teams are becoming more and more prevalent and successful. Much like hardware went from cartridges to CDs to back to cartridges again as technology advanced, teams have gone from small groups of friends and coworkers to massive crews thousands strong, and now we're seeing the resurgence of small dedicated teams. It's an interesting time in the industry, to be sure. I'm both excited and nervous about what it's going to be like to be a fledgling designer in this atmosphere. Sure, I could get lucky and get hired by a major games company to design some big blockbuster title, but it's also perfectly feasible that I make a game in my spare time as a work of passion and it succeeds well enough that I can live on it. I'm especially glad that this is an accelerated course. With how fast the industry's been changing, I couldn't bear to wait another year and a half to get out there. One thing in particular that this class really instilled in me was the importance of filing away research forks for later. So many times I've been watching a TED Talk or reading an interesting article for one of these assignments only to look up and realize I've spent hours researching things that interest me in this field, but I'm suddenly running out of time and do the actual assignment. But since then I've begun training the skill of putting aside those additional pages for later so I can just finish the one I need and be ready for the deadline. If I was going to give any advice to future TEM students, it would be to avoid research rabbit holes like that. It's a lot of fun, and it's great to be so interested in your industry that you just can't stop learning about it, but you need to keep your time managed. The other advice I'd give is don't catch the flu and nearly miss an entire week. Getting sick during these accelerated courses is brutal, especially if your fever's too high to think to tell your professor about it. Well, that's all I got. See ya.